And we do a simple practice. We do two simple practices. One is mindfulness of the breath, and one is chanting. And in both cases, we are trying to bring ourselves into the immediacy of our experience with curiosity. With the breath, we can place our attention at the nostrils, to the whole process of the breathing. If we like, we can center our attention in the abdomen, 3 finger widths below the navel, 3 or 4 finger widths, 3 or 4 finger widths in. And we can notice the process of breathing from that location. The energy of breathing affects us all the way into our abdomen. And what is it like in our abdomen as we breathe in, as we breathe out? What are all the delicate sensations that occur at the ring of our nostrils as we breathe in, as we breathe out? And they may be very, very vague to begin with, and we just gently pay attention. We don't judge that we're succeeding. We don't judge that we're failing. We're just attending. And that's how we proceed. If thoughts come up, we let them come, we let them go. If we get entrained in a thought and get lost, when we come out of it, we bring our attention back to the breathing. The second practice we do is chanting, and this was a practice brought to us by Adzon Pela Rinpoche from Tibet. The syllable we use is hum. We chant it twice, hum, hum, everyone at their own pace, and we can unmute when we do that. And we're conjoining our breath, our mind, and our sound, chanting hum, hum. And we just allow that coalescence to occur. Again, if thoughts occur, we don't follow them. We just bring our attention to the experience of hum, hum. So that's our practice. And we'll begin. In terms of posture, we first notice our contact with our support, which is our first pillar. You may be on a seat, you may be on the floor. Just notice that contact. What is it really like? Contact with our support. It's our first pillar. And then there's our skeletal structure. Our skeletal structure is our second support. And it supports us naturally. We have some bird visitors you may be hearing. And allow the skeletal structure to support. We don't have to do anything. The bones are doing their own work. And then we have a central energetic channel inside the core of our body, right in front of the spine. We envision it as a hollow, blue, translucent tube within which vital energies flow from below our navel to the crown of our head. We may not be used to that. We may not be aware of it just yet, but it's an aspect of sacred physiology that's taught in Buddhist practice, and it's another support. It's an energetic support for our practice. And so, with those three pillars of support, we begin noticing our breathing. Your eyes can be closed if you wish, or if they're open, unfocused, looking down 3 or 4 feet, but unfocused, very gentle. And also, it helps if we tuck our chin a little bit in. This elongates the spine. It just allows the energy to move up and down more easily and smoothly. Find the spot where you like to attend to the breath. Sit at the nostrils, the whole journey of the breath from the nostrils, energetically all the way down to the abdomen, or resting in the abdomen, noticing the process of breathing. If you find that you've gotten lost, gently bring your attention back to point of focus, your nostrils, the whole process of the breath, or noticing the breathing from the vantage point of your abdomen. Experience the sensation of the process of breath. Settle into that experience to the point of being lost in it, as it were. What's the actual experience of noticing the breath? Let go of the past, let go of the future. Just allow your attention to be with the experience of the breath. We'll now move to the blessed syllable Om. Om. We say it twice. We can unmute so that we can all be sharing the sound. We're chanting, we're hearing, we're immersed. Sound, mind, and breath, we're all united. Everything else is let go of. Thoughts come and go, or feelings or memories. Just let them dissipate. If we get lost, we bring our attention back to the chant of Om, Om, a very, very sacred syllable. It is the wisdom of the Buddhas. Om. Back to mindfulness of the breathing. Find a spot where you can notice the breath. It can be the nostrils, it could be the whole process of breathing. It could be noticing from the abdomen, spot 3 or 4 finger widths below the navel, 3 or 4 finger widths in. Place your attention on the process and then settle into it. Let go of any thoughts that arise or any feelings or memories. Let go. You have that capacity. And bring curiosity to what is the nature of this experience, the mystery of the present moment. Release the future, release the past, gift the present. Present is a present. now hand it over to Charlie. You can do the reading and subsequent meditation and then the names. Some discussion of the reading as well.
Thank you. Today's reading from the Pema Chodron book, Comfortable with Uncertainty, is chapter 9. No such thing as a true story. By weaving our opinions, prejudices, strategies, and emotions into a solid reality, we try to make a big deal out of ourselves, out of our pain, out of our problems. But things are not as solid, predictable, or seamless as they seem. In sitting meditation, our practice is to watch our thoughts arise, label them thinking, and return to the breath. If we were trying to find the beginning, middle, and end of each thought, we would soon discover that there is no such thing. Trying to find the moment when one thought becomes another is like trying to find the moment when boiling water turns into steam. Yet we habitually string our thoughts together into a story that tricks us into believing that our identity, our happiness, our pain, and our problems are all solid and separate entities. In fact, like thoughts, all these constructs are constantly changing. Each situation, each thought, each word, each feeling is just a passing memory. Wisdom is a fluid process, not something concrete that can be added up or measured. The warrior bodhisattva trains with the attitude that everything is a dream. Life is a dream, death is a dream, waking is a dream, sleeping is a dream. This dream is the direct immediacy of our experience. Trying to hold on to any of it by buying our storyline only blocks our wisdom. It might seem an interesting coincidence that Harvey's talk and the reading today coincided, but Buddhism is all about impermanence. Does anybody on screen or here in the room have any thoughts about their experience with getting caught up into thoughts and emotions and thinking they are real?
Does anybody not have that experience?
Speak louder, dear.
Does anybody not have that experience? Getting caught up in our own story, getting caught up in our thoughts.
I have a question, I suppose.
Okay, come take the mic, please. Thank you. And say your name.
To my seat. Hi, I'm Jake. And a passage in your reading that really sort of struck me was the whole stuff about being awake is a dream, being asleep is a dream, being alive is a dream, being dead is a dream. So then if it's all a dream, then like what's real? If the story that we tell ourselves about ourselves is also a dream and getting caught up in it is, not ideal, then what is the experience that we should value as being the closest to realities we could possibly get? If that makes any sense.
Great observations, Jake. It was a question, an observation also.
I think something fell over here.
That was a dream too. You know, as we were hearing this in the reading, and so we say, I like that. I don't like that. I like you. I don't like you. I like this breath. This breath feels easy and smooth. But as Temujin, you know, if you look, where does it begin and where does it end? I feel good. When did that start? When does it end? Even when it's right there, where is it? You're feeling good. Maybe you feel more relaxed. Okay, where is that? What exactly is relaxed? If you really start looking precisely the way we do sometimes when we sense into our breath, or actually we have many meditations, where we look very precisely into our experience. Your experience of me, I, mine, it seems so central. I want, I don't want. That's like background noise, waking and sleeping, but it's a story. The I is a story. So your great question, Jake, how do we get closer to that? Well, we get closer to it by looking more precisely and having the veil of permanence and substantiality and what does she say? Believing our identity, our happiness, our pain, they're not as solid as they seem. And the more we get in touch with that, which really all of our practices are about, the closer we are to reality.
Well, and I would jump it a little bit and say, you're asking a very, so what is there?
This is the heart question, Jake, right? It's the heart of all our practice. So thank you.
What are we moving towards? And ultimately, there is a ultimate of Buddha nature, which is a profound source, with respect to which all of conditioned existence seems like a dream. And also there is an attitude of compassion and love towards all beings, which frames our orientation towards all of life. And so those are the two kind of foci, and moving away from holding all of the particularities of life as heavy and as permanent and as solid is part of a process of moving closer towards the depth of our Buddha nature and allowing us to feel compassion towards all sentient beings. So it's a wonderful question, Jake. Thank you.
And when we realize how needlessly and yet compulsively we get caught up in our false stories, we can have a natural compassion for others who are like, it's poignant. We are space, but always thinking about the weather. It's like remembering that there's always blue sky, no matter what the clouds do. And we have our blue sky, so to speak, of our Buddha nature, which is really the heart of our practice, ultimately to recognize. That makes sense to you, Jake? To anyone? Maybe somebody would like to add something, another question or a thought about today's practice talk.
I would just like to say it was a lovely practice. Very nice meditation.
Thank you.
Well, I suppose I have another question.
Okay.
Sorry. Thank you. Jake again. This is just a little silly one about while you're doing your practice.
We can't hear you now.
And now? There we go. All right.
Now, yeah.
When you're, sitting still and noticing your breath through the practice, but then your nose starts to itch, you completely out of it. Is there sort of a shortcut to get back in, or is there a way to sort of shut all that off? You can focus on your practice?
As soon as you notice that you've gotten all caught up in the story of your nose itching, you can just go back to your breath. Just like that. Start again, as Sharon Salzberg always says. You can even scratch your nose if that helps. Is that what you're asking?
I guess the larger question of like dealing with distractions to your practice.
Dealing with one word I didn't hear.
Distractions, like the chair falling down in the other room, or the air conditioning turning on, or hearing a siren outside.
Yeah, they don't go away, do they? These distractions. So you notice them. What can you do? They will come until they stop coming, and we are not really in control of that. So the acceptance in the faces, right? That I was distracted. Okay, no big deal. That's what the mind does. Just go back to your breath. Go back to your focus as many times as it takes, without judging, without self-recrimination. That's the hard part. Without a big story about how I always get distracted, and after all this meditation, I still get distracted. No story. Oh, I'm distracted. Fine, go back. That's it.
It's a kind of profound question, Jake, and different traditions and different moments of practice. One might deal with distractions slightly differently, but it may be very, very helpful just to be able to notice and bring back without a heck of a lot of freight, a heck of a lot of story. And that in itself is a major point of training and practice. I was settled, a chair fell, I got distracted, I got upset, and now I bring my attention back to the process. And there are bumps in there. There are some speed bumps that you notice, which is great. And you bring your attention back to your practice.
Usually when there's a distraction that takes you away, there is some kind of tension that is also coming up in your body, like the chair falls and there's some kind of tension, like you tense up, like what happened? Or your nose itches, and so you can't be as relaxed as you were. And sometimes it's helpful, if it's easy enough, to notice that there has been that tension associated with the distraction, and that likely will just resolve when you go back to your breath. Cause and effect can work either way. Going back to your breath might just naturally resolve the tension. Noticing the tension, just gently noticing it, might itself resolve the tension and make it easier to settle on your breath. Just to say that the body is also involved in this process, and sometimes it's helpful to notice that.
Back to you, Charlie.
I want to say there's a comment in the chat from YouTube.
Yeah.
From Abe.
Okay. Hi, Abe. We'd love to see you if you have the possibility to join us so that we can see you. Abe writes, it's the link of dependent origination, like wagon wheels, stuck in the ruts of the trail. Yeah, we get stuck in the ruts of our story. This condition of mental consciousness. It's part of a process. We were easy. The chair fell, our nose itched, our mind goes elsewhere. It's a dependent arising. There's a process of causes and conditions going on here, as Abe is showing. Buddhism is very interested in causes and conditions. And then we can always go back to the breath. So thank you, and thanks, Wendy.
Thank you, Wendy. Charlie.
Okay, let's go back to our silent meditation and settle for a few minutes before we do our dedication? I need that. Let's now do the dedication and the blessing. By this good may I swiftly once become a great guru, lead all beings, everyone, to reach to that very ground. With all of you in mind, we light this lamp of clarity. May the glow of love, wisdom shine within us, everyone, till we all rise forth born in one enlightened mandala. Today we dedicate the merit of our practice to all sentient beings, and specifically to Doug McGregor and family, Marconi and family, Dolores and family, Ira and Farida, Andakaska, Jeff Coates, Barry Nye, Kelsey Guston, Dave Spun in the Bardo, Padma, Sophia, James, Julia, Deanna, Hal, Sam, Ian DeCosta in the Bardo and his parents, siblings, and grandparents, our Lamas, George Hall, Anissa and family, Ency and family, Nick and family, John's nephew in the Bardo, Leah, Galena, Surabi, all suffering animals, our teachers, our Sangha, Owen Kinney in Bardo, Jean Marion, Alexander in Bardo, Lauren Hams in Bardo, Tom Reed in Bardo, Addison in Bardo, Jim Cathro in Bardo, Joe, Lori, Ludwig, Deborah Ussery, Betty Praviti, Sinead O'Connor in Bardo. Okay, we'll close by doing one ah practice, the sacred syllable, sending out healing white light and energy to the far reaches of the universe. You can unmute yourselves and bring all our voices together. So I see that I neglected to do the announcements in the middle of the program, so let me do those now that we've finished the sacred portion. It's not too late to register for the second Tuesday teachings. No, the first and third Tuesday, sorry. The Fresh Eyes on Green Tara. The first two sessions have been recorded. You can go back and watch those. Go to the website to find more information. The next online class is this coming Tuesday, July 5th at 15th at 7 p.m. on Zoom.
That's not this coming Tuesday.
It's
A
August.
week from Tuesday.
It's August 15th.
Oh, how convenient. Yeah. On Saturday, August 26th, there will be a short 2.5-hour online retreat on the Green Tara practice, which is open to everyone by donation, everyone who has been instructed in the practice in this lineage. All of the Tuesday teachings and the retreat will be taught by Lama Rigzin Drolma with Nathaniel Rich, PhD, and Claire Villarreal, PhD. So, for all newcomers and curious people, we have a welcome event coming up after the Sunday meditation on August 20th. This is an interactive event that will introduce you to our lamas, our lineage, our mission, and some Sangha and board members. This complimentary event will be held from 12:30 to 1:30 after the Sunday meditation. Attendance could be in person or register to get the link for participation online. Please invite your friends.
We will be there in person.
Please come, and if you're in Houston and can make it, please come.
Okay, Ann and Harvey will be back in person, so
Yep.
that's part of
We
the,
look forward to seeing you.
yeah. So in the back is a survey, if you have not filled one out. Information we're getting on the survey is already being acted upon. In September, Lama Namgyal Dorje is starting a 6-week pre-meditation class to introduce Buddhism to curious people and beginners everywhere. More information is on a flyer in the back. Please pick up one up on your way out. So that's from September 17th through October 29th. Those, I'm sure those are all Sundays, that's what it said. From 10:30 to 11, so they'll be each before the regular Sunday meditation. And as always, you can get our weekly newsletter with everything that's happening at Dawn Mountain by visiting our website. So, thanks for coming, both online and in person, and we look forward to seeing you next week or the week after. Oh, and if you'd like to make a donation, there is touchless donations. There's a code to scan or cash donations if you're interested. And after, we can't eat in this room, but I believe we have some snacks outside in the entryway. and we can visit and answer any questions you might have. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you. Wonderfully done, Charlie. Thank you so much.
And thank you, Shane. And lovely to see everybody.
Really nice to see you all. Be well, stay cool. You know what I mean?
Hello, Tony. New face
Hi, Tony. Where's Tony?
right here. Nice to see you.
Hi. Thank you for
Where
showing up.
are you, Tony?